if you don't mind, Penny, we'll take you first to the question here regarding the possibilities for the EPSU to provide concrete support to public service unions in Palestine.
Apologies. Just to put on that question, well, we have another colleague also from PSI who's in the audience, and certainly for the sort of the concrete regional activities of PSI, maybe would like to make a contribution if there's time. I would just pick up the last point from Michael, actually, about the US and the EU. As I said, the EU does not have full competence on foreign policy, and I think it is still work in progress to get the EU to have a joined up approach on human rights, both internally and externally, and that's something we have to work on. I wanted also just quickly to mention on the COVID and on the healthcare. I mean, absolutely, I think a lot of the comments have been mentioned we can use to put more pressure on Israel regarding access to healthcare, access to vaccines. And with PSI, perhaps you'll all be interested to know we are working very hard to get a waiver in the TRIPS agreement, that the trade-related intellectual property rights agreement with the WTO, so that we could actually speed up the production and distribution of COVID vaccines and all the medical supplies that are needed. Now, that's not necessarily going to solve the issue of you need still to get them to people on the ground, but there is also an issue of the distribution and in general the cooperation and the solidarity between countries as well over dealing with the pandemic and actually putting, as was eloquently said, this universal right to quality healthcare and education and other public services to give them the value that they need. So, but on the concrete things, I think concretely the best role we can play in EPSU is to keep pressure on the European policies, and through our membership of PSI to help the solidarity aspects, and also to support organizations like the network, so that we can actually raise awareness and get unions and get people and members in touch with each other, because I think that's really important.